Hello there, EFD squad, you dirty dogs, and welcome back to the European Roundup where you pick our winners and losers with me, your host, Roque Mesa. And my compadre over here is Gonzalo Castro.
I'll take it.
Bit of ginger in it, bit of heat.
Yeah, I got the Alonso beard.
Funnily enough, we start in Germany, don't we, with @SharpHelm suggestion. He thinks Bayern should kick things off.
Yeah, they beat Borussia Dortmund 3-1 away from home. They're now 4 points clear at the top of the Bundesliga. And since Jupp Heynckes has returned, Dortmund have not won in the league. Bayern have gained 12 points.
Witchcraft.
Everything is coming up Millhouse, mate. They're absolutely smashing it right now. It's actually the first time in the Bundesliga this season that Bayern's starting 11 was younger than the starting 11 of their opponent.
That is fascinating.
And especially given that their opponent was Dortmund, who were associated with having extremely young players, and bringing through youth from that incredible academy that they have. But the game, pretty balanced. I think that Bayern can count themselves lucky to have won this by 2 clear goals. Both teams had 50% possession. Dortmund had 15 shots to Bayern's 10, but Bayern had 5 on target to Dortmund's 4.
Only 4 from 15.
Yeah, so it means it looks all pretty even overall. James Rodriguez started his 3rd game in a row. Since Heynckes has come back, there's been much more of a place for him because, of course, we said when he signed in the summer, Hammers, we said he's a great player, but we don't know how a guy who's a number 10 fits into that Ancelotti 4-3-3. Whereas Heynckes, who's generally made a career of having a 4-2-3-1, or at least of having somebody in the hole, James Rodriguez has been really, really good for him. He had the most possession of anyone in the attacking line, won 3 tackles and got 2 assists.
Yeah, the Colombian has led the line really well in Robert Lewandowski's absence. Obviously more of a false number 9 than the big Pole, who is an out-and-out number 9. But when Lever and Muller return, is there going to be a place for Rodriguez in that side? Who knows? What do you think? Should he keep his place? Let us know in the comments below. However, the star man in this game was Arjen Robben. As he normally is on the big occasion, he completed 3 dribbles. He attempted 2 shots and he scored a very Robben-esque goal coming in on that left-hand side. Robben has now scored 11 goals in all competitions for Munich against BVB. He's only scored that many goals against one other club. Bonus points for guessing who.
Don't know.
Wolfsburg.
Cool.
Amateur hour.
Facts.
Now under Jupp Heynckes, Bayern are undefeated in their last 29 Bundesliga games, going back to his last stint. That's 25 wins and 4 draws. They've actually won 20 of the last 21. In imperious form under the seasoned veteran. In fact, Bayern Munich are now undefeated in 127 games, Pato, when they've led at half-time, winning 118 of those and only drawing 9. So they don't often throw away a lead on the domestic scene, do they? Their last loss was against Cologne in 2011. So, lost 3-2 after leading 2-0 at half-time.
That's bad.
How's
That's
that for a nugget of information? Talking of Cologne, you smell beautiful today, mate.
Thank you.
It's a natural scent, isn't it?
Tell you
Anyway,
about it.
as usual, for Dortmund, their saving grace was Christian Pulisic, who completed 8 dribbles on the night. 8 dribbles against Bayern Munich. Consider who he's going past. David Alaba, Boateng, Martinez, all big guys.
I saw him absolutely rinse David Alaba, and he megged Robben. He went into the corner, he megged Robben, and that's what led to Dortmund's goal. Mark Bartra curling home from inside the box. It's unbelievable.
Behave, Christian.
Seriously, David Alaba was rolling around on the floor like Francis Coquelin chasing Eden Hazard. It was amazing.
But Pato, 8 dribbles makes him, that means that's the highest amount of dribbles completed in a single game so far in this Bundesliga campaign, which is pretty impressive considering the opposition. As I said before, it looks like Bayern are going to win the Bundesliga, doesn't it? After Dortmund made such a great start to the season. That's disappointing. Talking of disappointing, let's go into our first losers.
Our first loser is Inter Milan. This is courtesy of @Eddie Jackson. There's an I in there as well. Don't know what that one's doing. But anyway, Chris, tell us why Inter are here.
Yep, despite making it 12 matches unbeaten, Inter Milan will be disappointed to drop 2 points at home to 8th place Torino. Now, in fact, before this, Pato, Inter had gained 29 points from 11 games, their highest total since the format changed from 2 points for a win.
What?
Yeah, crazy. I mean, stupid system.
What, even
anyway,
when they
2
won the
points for a win.
treble?
Well, apparently so.
Spalletti's kid.
But yes, the Nerazzurri could have gone level on points with Napoli leapfrogging Juve in this game, but instead end the weekend in 3rd on 30 points. Still impressive considering last season's form nonetheless. But in this side, the home side created a significant amount of chances, 20 to Torino's 8, but only managed 2 more shots on target than the visitors. I believe that was a 3 to 5. Although the away side did have some clear-cut opportunities, particularly one free kick from Lajic, they were heavily reliant on veteran goalkeeper and man of the match Salvatore Sirigu, who kept out 4 efforts. One in particular was very impressive. It was Candreva from the wing, tried to catch him out at his front post. He didn't, he palmed it away. But, Pato, were there any standouts for Inter in this otherwise disappointing draw?
Well, the standout of their season so far was once again at the races in this game. It's 22-year-old centre-back Milan Skriniar. Amazing name, especially for an Inter centre-back. He put up 2 shots and 2 dribbles in this game, which perhaps is a sign that Inter's attack wasn't quite at the races, but he did that as well as winning 4 aerial duels, making 4 tackles on the night, had an 88% pass accuracy from 51 passes. Really, really exciting guy. Keep an eye on him. Whereas Inter's front 4, they didn't really produce much. No. They had 8 shots and Torino managed to block 5 of those. So a really impressive rearguard action from the Granata. They were a little bit lax in possession. That's probably a difficulty for them. They weren't able to build because they lost the ball 13 times. Yeah. In particular, Borja Valero lost it 5 times. That's not really great. And they then went behind when Iago Falque hit a left foot pile driver, mate.
Great run.
He's got 5 in 12 now, and we're starting to see the form that originally, led him to be highly rated when he was at Roma. Yeah. So interesting to see that from him. They probably should have got their lead through the free kick that Hamill was talking about, but then Eder got one on a counter-attack, and it was reminiscent of Spalletti's Roma, when they'd absolutely race forward.
Built from the back.
Would kill people.
Down the right-hand side. Lovely layoff as well from the big man Icardi in the box.
And up next for Inter, it doesn't get any easier. They've got Atalanta, who are in 10th at the moment, but as we know, a very, very good side. And you could argue that they're lower in the league because they've been prioritising the Europa League, where they've been absolutely fantastic. So Inter, I don't know, if they're not careful, it could turn into a bad run. But as Chris has said in his section, very, very good team, and you can't see this as anything other than 2 points dropped.
Next up in our winners section is Valencia, and this comes from @WilliamIrish, which is quite ironic because William's a Scottish name. Should change his handle to @WilliamScottish. Good joke. William Wallace. Anyway, you'd be hard pressed to ignore Valencia's impressive start to the season, wouldn't you? So they deserve to be in our winners section.
Yeah, they're in 2nd place. Marcelino has been working wonders there. They got a 3-0 win over Leganes this weekend, and they're 4 points ahead of Real Madrid after 11 games. 7 wins on the bounce. That's a new club record, which actually is pretty impressive given what they've done in the past, kind of 15 years. They may not have been good the last couple of seasons, but Nuno Espirito Santo had a very good team there, of course.
2 Champions League finals.
Back in the day, they won the league. So really, really good stuff. And you can see why. They've got the 2nd best goal difference after Barca. They're on plus 19. They take the 3rd highest number of shots on target per game after Real and Barcelona. And Simone Zaza is currently scoring with every 2nd shot he gets on target.
He didn't score an 11 for West Ham.
Half of his shots on target are going in. I was actually talking to a West Ham fan the other day who'd been at the London Stadium to see West Ham get their asses handed to them by Liverpool. And he said, Simone Zaza is banging them in for Valencia. What the is going on at my club?
Yeah, he's actually got a better shot conversion rate when putting his efforts on target than Lionel Messi, with around 61%. I think Messi's on 57, although Messi does shoot about 15 times a game.
And beats about 8 guys to get a shot on target.
So the only thing that Zaza will ever be better at than Messi, for the time being. But as you intimated, they're not only just doing the attacking part of the game, Valencia are also putting in a shift at the back, and they're actually producing similar numbers to Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid in terms of tackles per game. I think it's the 2nd highest or 3rd highest in the league with around 21 tackles per game. So in terms of defending as a unit, very, very impressive. Especially when you consider this is a team who conceded 65 goals last season. Yeah. So Marcelino, up to his old tricks, he did it with Villarreal, didn't he? Put together a very solid defence. He's doing so here. And given the personnel, you'd think so as well. Montoya, Garay, Murillo, who came from Inter Milan, he's been one of their standout players this season. He put in 4 tackles against Leganes. And Gaia, who's been a long-term target for Barcelona, of course, still in his early 20s. still might move there. Might be a long-term heir to Jordi Alba. Hopefully he's not as big a tit. But it was also the two midfielders as well who chimed in on this occasion. So we've spoke about the defence, we've spoke about the attack, but it helps when Dani Parejo is putting in the shift he did against Leganes. Pato, 1 goal from 2 shots, 7 tackles, 1 key passes, 2 clearances and 1 interception. He was a man mountain on that occasion. And everyone at Valencia seems to be pulling in the same direction. They've galvanised under the new manager, and so they should as well. Huge club, great history. I want to see them in the Champions League.
Next losers are Ajax. This comes from @N Salzaro. What happened to Ajax this weekend?
They lost 2-1, Pato, at home to Utrecht. They're second in their last 11 games. In fact, Ajax, prior to this, had won their last 6 games, so in a great vein of form. So this came as a little bit of a shock. However, what less shocking is the fact that Utrecht took the points off them because they appear to be Ajax's nemesis, Pato. They've taken more points off Ajax than any other side in the Eredivisie in the last 10 years. That's 27. That's almost 10 wins. So they're averaging almost 1 win a season against them, aren't they?
Pretty good.
Quick maths. Ajax are already struggling in the Eredivisie though. Not been champions for the last 4 seasons and are currently 9 points off top spot. PSV currently sitting pretty. And not a great position to be in, considering they've only played 11 games, Pato. But this meant a hell of a lot to Utrecht, didn't it?
Well, it might help them kick on a little bit. It's their first win in 5 games, but somehow they're still in 8th. They've actually conceded 21 goals this season. That's the 3rd worst tally in the entire league. Only Willem II and Roda have conceded more. They've both allowed 22. But Utrecht midfielder, 24-year-old Zakaria Labiad, you might remember him as an old-time kind of like FIFA and FM wonder kid. He was man of the match for the 4th time this season. After 11 games, he's been man of the match 4 times. He's got 8 goals and 4 assists in 14 matches. That's in all competitions. 5 shots, 2 goals, hit the woodwork twice, 3 aerial duels won, 3 dribbles completed.
Did you see the tweet going around about one of their goals as well when they kind of temporarily turned into Napoli, playing this lovely one-touch football?
Might check that out.
What's happened?
I don't know, mate. But like, let's hope that they can get it, that they can get themselves together. Ajax, on the other hand, doesn't look like they're going to win a title this year. Looks like that drought is going to extend still further. Maybe FDB will be on his way back. But let us know who you think they should get in the comments below.
Our final winners come from Ozil Sation, and he suggested, why not look to Claudio Ranieri's Nantes?
Yeah, got to be careful how you pronounce that. But they're up to 5th in the table after defeating Toulouse, who of course down in 12th, 2-1 at home. And that was a good return to form. They lost to Dijon last week, but they're now very, very good at home. Terrible. Get out. They've won their last 4 home games on the bounce. That's the best record at the Beaujoire, that's their stadium, since 2002. And what they do really, really well is give up possession, but still manage to get the lion's share of quality chances for themselves, okay? So in this game, they only had 40% possession at home, but they had 6 shots on target to the visitors' 3. And it really came down to one guy, Emiliano Sala, who's the 27-year-old Argentinian. He got his 3rd goal of the season, got an assist as well, and he gave Issa Diop, of course, the highly rated Toulouse centre-back, and Amiens absolute nightmares. He won 5 aerial duels against them, which one? Have you seen the size of Issa Diop?
No, I mean...
He's absolutely colossal.
I know that the Argentinian's 6'2", Salah.
Yeah.
So not, I mean, tall, but not massively tall.
Sure, but
I mean I'm 6'1".
Yeah, it's actually a little known fact that I'm 6 foot and Hamill's 6'1". Amazing, really.
Yeah.
But imagine how tall Zach Jellab is.
You'll see me win all sorts of headers this season for FDS.
He's got very long legs, that's what he's known for. But anyway, really good performance for Salah and great work for Claudio. Carry on climbing up the league.
Yeah, and Toulouse, however, in this game did equalise at one point through 21-year-old central midfielder Alexis Blin. That was his first of the season before Salah scored what would prove to be the decisive goal with an instinctive finish. It was like half lob, half finesse. It was very nice. His highest total in a league in the season is 12, I believe, and I think that was for Nantes. And in order for them to sort of maintain this form, Pato, you'd imagine he has to exceed that ratio.
Yeah, well, who knows?
I think he's got 3 and 9 this season, so he's probably on course to emulate exactly that. But they are short of forward options. I think they have Koulibaly as well, but he's only played around 80, 90 minutes of football this season. Not sure if he's injured or just unfancied under Ranieri. But they're 16th in the league for shots per game, 19th for possession, 20th for pass accuracy, and 17th for dribbles. So he's going to have to keep overperforming.
Yeah.
But this does sound a little bit familiar, doesn't it? This sounds a tiny bit, a smidgen like Ranieri's Leicester. Who knows how the Tinkerman does it, despite the stats. Now, they finished 7th last season, 9 points adrift of European football. But can they sneak into the Europa League? Only 3 points off Lyon at current. French football fans, let us know. Yeah, considering Lyon's front line. Let us know in the comments below.
Final loser of the weekend comes from Hadi Hamid, and he says Napoli. Chris, they had 2 bad results, didn't they?
Yes, the little donkeys have been making an ass of themselves of late, haven't they? Losing 4-2 to Manchester City, and then subsequently drawing 0-0 against Chievo. Now, Juve are just 1 point behind them, and both teams have a goal difference of plus 24.
Tight.
I want them to win the title.
I
think that's 2 draws in the last 3 games, isn't it?
Not great.
That's not championship winning form. But I'm going to talk about the UCL game a little bit, because we actually didn't do UCL review on EFD this week.
Lazy.
Because we played EFD versus FD, which is coming to your screens next week.
Scorcher.
Hint, we're better. Anyway, the City game started well. They were great in the first 20, weren't they? Insigne made it 1-0 after 21 minutes. And when Napoli took the lead, it was the first time City had been behind since August 26th against Bournemouth. The Napoli of the Premier League.
Yeah, very much so.
Very much so. However, Pep's team went full Tony Pulis after that, didn't they? Scoring from 2 set pieces in their centre-backs, Otamendi and Stones, who have actually both been in great goal-scoring vein recently, haven't they? Otamendi, the way he attacks the ball, he's a savage.
He's incredible.
He takes some stopping, doesn't he, in the box? But Sterling and Aguero, 2 players with a little bit more finesse, wrapped things up. Aguero hitting his 178th goal in just 264 games to become the top goal-scoring player ever at Manchester City, overtaking Eric Brook, whose niece or something presented him with a trophy. Sergio Aguero, she was ancient.
Oh wow!
Eric Brook
what a treat
he
for
must have
Sergio
been
Aguero to meet
a long time ago.
This is Eric Brook's niece. Like,
like,
Jesus Christ!
But they were like,
it's
Eric
amazing.
Brook's niece is going to give him the trophy, and then she was also like 90 years old. I was like, oh my god, how old is Eric Brooks?
Sergio Aguero used to be married to Diego Maradona's daughter. Like, is he really that excited about meeting Eric Brook's fucking niece?
It's just
but, I mean, fair play
thing
to her. Nice day out for her.
Because they're a what club? Community club.
Yeah, big time.
Bankrolled by billionaires.
The Qatari community.
Anyway, yeah. It was actually the first time in the Champions League game that Napoli have conceded 4 in a game since Sarri arrived from Empoli.
Ooh.
That is 2 years, 5 months, and 116 games. Oh, you're right.
Not bad.
But I would say the game changed massively after that injury to Gulam.
Yes.
I mean, through watching the 2 legs, I have a new appreciation of the left back. He seems to spring an awful lot of their attacks.
Yes.
He brings Insigne into the game, and Insigne then brings Dries Mertens into the game.
Yep.
Hamsik I thought was good, but maybe not as good as he could be. He shields the ball very well, he pops off these little quick passes, doesn't he? But he wasn't as influential as he's perhaps used to being. And when they had to bring on that player for Gulam, it was a player who is not very in the Sarri mould. Was it the 35-year-old? Who then went to right back, and then they had to deploy their right back at left back.
Or something?
Yeah, and they just weren't as springy coming out of the traps. But what did you think to the league game against Chievo?
Well, actually, Hamsik really did put up big numbers in this game, but he couldn't make the breakthrough. He had 4 shots and created 5 chances in this match. And frankly, Napoli were unlucky not to get the result. Going into the match, Chievo had conceded 19 goals in 11 games, while Napoli were scoring, on average, 2.9 goals a game. So it looked like this was going to be a battering. Chievo had 3 shots. One of those was on target. One of them was from within their own half. Okay? So they were not really doing a great job here. Napoli, by comparison, had 19 shots, and 5 of those were on target. However, they couldn't really make the breakthrough. I believe 12 of those shots were from outside the box. And actually, according to Opta, there was only 1 clear-cut chance in the game, and Chievo had it. Jorginho continues to be unbelievable in central midfield, controlling the pace of the game. He had 13.6% of the possession in this game.
Wow.
Over an eighth of the possession in this game was just Jorginho.
You'd say someone who had 7 to 9% possession has been hugely influential.
Yeah.
So to have 14 is incredible.
Yeah, so I mean, that's amazing for Jorginho, but on the other hand, it might point to a little bit of a problem for Napoli, because in this match, they completed 889 passes, but 51% of those were in the middle third.
Okay.
And I think another quarter or something were in their defensive third.
So a bit of a disconnect.
So they actually couldn't, it wasn't like they were pinning Chievo back and then creating high quality chances. They're pretty much having the
Do you
ball
think that's just
away
because
from the goal.
Chievo just deployed a hugely defensive deep block?
They just went like double human shield. But I mean, what are you going to do when Napoli are in town and your defence isn't what it should be? Then that's kind of thing to do. And you know what? Fair play to them. It did work out. As you say, though, things are now very, very tight at the top of Serie A. Juve have Sampdoria, who are in 6th, and Crotone up next. Napoli have Milan, who are down in 7th, and Udinese up next. And then the game after that, Juve versus Napoli in Napoli, 1st of December.
I'd like to do a poll, if I may, on the subject of Jorginho, because interestingly enough, I'm quite interested in Brazilian football, and apparently Tite is going to call Jorginho up. However, Ventura has just called him up to the Italy squad.
He said he wants to play for Italy, right?
Yeah, so where do you think he should go, Jorginho, the midfield maestro, the metronome, all of the above? Let us know in a poll, just a poll. So just before we go, Pato, me and Daniel Connor88 think that Celtic deserve a shout out for breaking their own 100-year-old 62-game unbeaten streak by defeating the mighty St Johnstone 4-0 at the weekend. Well done to the boys. Get in there, Brendan Rodgers. What should they do next, though?
They should head over to Football Daily and check out winners and losers, or stay right here on EFD. Check out Stat Wars, very exciting stuff. And of course, Stat Wars The Champions returns to your screens this weekend coming.
Yeah, boy. Me versus Makola. Goodbye.